So I think we're now being recorded. So, if you got, no, it's still the same. And so yeah, do you want a facilitator to facilitate this part?
No, I think it would be nice for us just to have an open talk about this and how to go forward. I felt Lizette had some good ideas, you had some good ideas, and I felt it was important for us to hear each other maybe. And I like what Emily had kind of drafted to start with. But then also to how do we take it forward, because I guess she's going to be stepping back, and she did bring up some good points of opening up too much, right? That I think that Philip, Tim, Jonathan, a few people brought in the actual meeting saying that if we give too much now, and Lizette, I think you mentioned it, that there was already an attempt that didn't work out, right? So maybe to be very delicate with how we're going about this. So I thought that's what I felt was very important from the emails that were exchanged, to kind of maybe for us to feel each other and to see what we really feel is the right way to move from here.
Yeah, I felt that too, and I think it's all experimentation as well. Some of my emails were experimenting with how we communicate with emails as well, so it's sensing into how we will work as a group. So some of my emails were tending towards that, and everything is helping understand the different dynamics that happens in emails when we're trying to get something done. And I just see two things really that we need to focus on delivering, which is the text that goes into the newsletter, and then the doorway itself. What is that doorway that needs to be delicately framed when they go onto the link, which was where Lizette's emails were mostly focusing on, which I also can see that now using that approach.
Yeah, I think I'll add to it. I feel that we're close, and that the invitation for the newsletter sounded to me quite powerful. I would like us to have a series of, doesn't have to be big, but maybe 1 or 2 steps that we can have ready as soon as we send that link. If somebody connect with us, then if they go into the link, what is the experience they're going to have of what we are inviting them to be, right? And I didn't necessarily like the Google form with the 2 names and then skills. It's like a transaction that we're already asking people to help, and for me, it's like, when I think about it, it's like, what is the user experience I want to give to somebody who had this transformational experience at Schumacher and may have been disconnected for years, or maybe just random, like, I don't know, random. And how do we want to engage them? And it doesn't have to be very much, but it could be as simple as a Facebook page, like the Murmurations, that was so compelling. And because people are I think that we all just want to share our voices, our poems, our ideas, right? And it could be just that, and then maybe where people can just give the information, or if we don't do a Facebook page because maybe it's already too much for what we want to offer, at least we gather the information, and then we do invite them to send their video, or we share the video of ourselves right now. I don't know, but something that makes the experience alive. I mean, you guys know what I'm speaking about. And it could be 1 or 2 little steps, and then we are ready to send it, from my perspective.
Yeah, resonates completely with me as well. Because also besides that, it doesn't really embody perhaps that experience so much, plus also not in the invitation that we are really sending out to them, is that just already from a management or capacity point of view, is like you would create a whole boring job to manage the answers to that question. What I think the function of it, though, is that we want to show that it has an inclusive character, and if anyone feels appealed to be drawn and share their talents, that they feel invited at any point and with any suggestions to anyone. And I think that element that should convey very well, and that this element of alumni led, that is what it means, that it's all inclusive for any kind of initiative, sharing any kind of talent at any moment. And for the rest, yes, I love making it more alive. I understand the element what Emily wanted to do, like use that momentum to engage them in with that step.
Just a process thing. I just noticed that from my screen, I noticed we went in a circle from Ma to me to Lizette then Leanne. I thought, oh, that's like a, when we do circle talk and we go around and we don't respond to each other. We go in a circle and then we pass the stick and then we respond to the center. So we could just continue like this and just keep responding until we find there's a silence, or when we find there's a kind of a consensus. So we go in the same shape. So Ma next and me, then Lizette. I'm just.
Okay, I like the idea. I like what both of you shared. I felt the same. I think Emily's was a first step, but it's true that if we collect all this information and don't respond or do anything with it, then it's a bit what Lizette shared, right? Then it's just like, hey, I gave this, and what's happening now? But, I like the idea of maybe just even a simple website, just saying, hey, it's alumni-led. These are some groups that are happening. Maybe contact us if you're interested. They have to send an email or something. And these are some videos of people who are interested in the network. Send, maybe you can, and maybe they can even upload their own there or something, upload your own or something like, so it's kind of like very easy to use. But I do love this idea of engaging people, and it's a hard thing, this non-exclusivity, right? Like being part of this first group, being part of the work groups. I know how, Lizette, you were saying maybe we can open them up for people to join, but then it's like, how do we manage that, or like, how do we share all of the Google Drive, but like explain it all, like if someone just opens it, I mean, they might be like, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, or something. And it's just, I don't know. So I'm really torn, because one side of me just wants to include people, and the other side's like, but how do we like move forward in a good way? This kind of tear inside of me between the two. But I do like this idea of opening something that's alive, that's with the videos, that's sharing something. Yeah, I do feel this communication is important in whatever form it might be, even something simple like saying, hey, this is what happened to people in the outside community, not to make it exclusive, because I think this is where the kind of boundary is. If you don't open it up, then people straight away feel it's a private thing or something. So yeah. That's my sharing. So the stick's coming to you, Mathieu.
Thank you. Yeah, I hear all that. What I'm hearing is what is the experience we want to bring to people when they come to click on that link, and the need to make it all inclusive, to make it very alive, balanced against the work that needs to be done to create that, the amount of information that might be there, and yeah, what I would suggest maybe is, because I remember seeing a website once where it was about, I can't remember what it was about, but it had lots of people's faces on it. You clicked on the face and it just went into a little story about them. And I was just thinking, if we had Pepic's video, so you click on, they have a link that says, this is what Pepic's video tells you what we've done just as a story, and then it sees the 30-second videos. We'll just say, could you please drop us your 30-second new, your 30-second true facey or something, and then we collect all these faces, all these little things, and then we can give them to to the digital department and say, what can you do with all this? Can you make it into a kind of simple website or something that just allows people to see each other like these, just like in a, and so, they were saying, responding to needs. So that could be one way where we share the load, and it allows it to be done now, because I think if we can keep the momentum up so that there's not much space between now and the time when we can get that into the newsletter, because I suppose Laura needs to know soon, and we need to get that, the thing, that the doorway sort of quite in soon, and in a way that feels alive and that meets that thing of safe enough for now and good enough for now and safe enough to do. I think I can't remember exact words. Yeah, that I think that's so. I'm hearing everything, and it feels, it feels that we're moving somewhere. Luzette, pass the stick.
Thank you. Well, I'm in alignment with all, and I think that maybe something we could do is to create another working group, and it could be probably off of this group that is constantly managing the responses to ensure that people do get, if people make a comment or something like that, that we keep the momentum going in the conversations or in the videos, whatever it is that we create. And we could either do the website, where would be, people can do everything that you guys have said with the videos. We can actually have the Facebook page, which could even have the live videos that people can just do directly. And maybe there we could actually just add the larger questions, so people feel included, but not the working group. And when I mean the larger questions, I'm referring to the evolving, organizing, sustaining, learning, collaborating, where we can just ask the larger questions as to, like, how would a network stay alive and thriving? And then people can comment on it, like just the larger questions. And that's it. That's how I feel. Leanne?
Yeah, I think we're murmuring already a little bit, because it resonates also with me. So maybe, this simple murmuration website, where almost that the vision that we have of what the movement could lead to, but how the movement could work. So yes, we could have the video of Pepik, but we could also see if it's possible. I don't know if you upload a picture and that the pictures start to move like a murmuration, as if it like randomly moves. And then the more that there come in, the more it looks like this murmuring formation, and that you can actually then click on those little pictures, and that then the video comes. I don't know if this is already too much programming, or whether that is something so for phase 2, but I think it could be fun. And if then people can upload something, and in that video then they can also address their call, of course. A working group for responses, I think, yes, that might work. I would not feel so inclined to be in that working group, because that's a hard working group. And I think many people are very busy for that. So maybe, since it's a distributed network, what we could do, well, an idea I had when you mentioned it is, how about that we each put in our agenda a week to respond, to be the main responder. So sort of be that bird that is ahead and that you're following, but that it changes. Like, okay, I'm the 1st of January till the 7th of January. That's my week, and we dedicate each of us, and that we respond, and we have that for one transition period for the first half year. So, and then so we need then 25 people, which will be easy to manage to get, and so that we know that there will always be a response. But that we do have then a group that we can refer those response to if we have larger questions. But there's one idea.
I like this idea of the responses of a person per week. It's really nice. It actually makes it distributed, like you said, with one of the birds flying ahead. For me, that really resonates. And I like this idea of like the murmuring birds together somehow, like the videos or something murmuring, or it feels much more like a distributed network to me in this way, like that we're all part of it and that we're all leading it in one way or the other together. I really like this idea. I mean, at the end, everything's resonating with me. I feel like we're all like murmuring, right? And I don't really have much more to add. I think these are great ideas. So having somehow a page where we can put the videos already, let's get the network started, maybe even mentioning the next few gatherings that might be happening around the place, something like this. So even if we can't all log on, just saying this is what's happening, something very simple, and maybe having somewhere just to email in, or and then responses can be taken care of. And if there's like one WhatsApp chat where you have like problems responding, maybe a lot of people can be part of it, helping to respond or something. I much prefer WhatsApp than email, because there's so many email chains at the moment that I'm, even from just this weekend, which is great, but I'm looking through all of them. Oh, have I missed one email because maybe someone has sent something else? I'm a bit scared, so there's a lot. So I think WhatsApp for me is easy. If we had a WhatsApp working group, let's say, to take care of the responses or something like this, I think that would be great. And I feel like I could do a week or 2 weeks a year. I mean, for me, that's really okay. And I feel like if we can really do that with a calendar and distribute it between people, I mean, this is already a distributed way, right? And as people join, maybe we can add more people to the group, and more, like, we can really see. I like this. I like this this inclusivity that we're coming to. So. Mathieu.
Thanks. Yeah, I like the idea of how do we emulate the Murmuration, the distributed network, in the way we form this page. And also just to think of, I guess, that we'll think of systemic thinking, to think that our group is part of a other system. So not to, as Leanne was saying, like how much work are we putting on and onto other groups. So maybe not a separate website, but a page on the existing LoRa's website that we can ask, can you put another page? We'll have all these faces and the selfies on. And what came to me though about when we were talking about just who's going to be looking after this space, as well as forming a kind of an overarching group that's looking, like, trying to respond. I'm wondering, how do you get the network itself to respond to each other, so everybody's actively listening to each other, rather than we choose some people to listen to everybody else. And it's like, and what I just thought was, I look on Pinterest. Pinterest, you have all these faces, and then you can put comments underneath it, and I don't know how they could do, but like a Pinterest kind of page where people's faces or their videos are up, and then people can say, oh, I've just watched your video, I really like this thing about you, or something. So everybody else, so you see the emergence of people responding to each other, makes you more wanting to respond to it. There isn't a hierarchy, there isn't this idea that there's another group stewarding. Although you could have also maybe some, like, just to make sure that it's working, a stewarding group, as you were suggesting, every 2 weeks somebody can, like, make sure it's all kind of working and nobody's in a kind of got into a bit of an argument or something. So there's like just to help that shaping. But yeah, so I think what I'm hearing in this convergence of how do we create a distributed network, there are different, in this way, different ideas, and how can we come to a place where, so I think we've got the text, it's that doorway. How can we, what are the things we need to tell Emily, or kind of ask Emily that she can tell Laura, to like key bullet points maybe, or something, so we've got something we can give to her. Passing to Lisette.
Thank you. I agree. I think that my few comments will be about the website or where it lays, because I'm not sure that it should belong to the Dartington page or to whatever. Ideally, we'll have that separate. And then my second thought after that would be, what would be the easiest? It could be just like a blog type of, like, Medium, like, I don't know, whatever is already created there. And maybe that's a question for Laura to help us with. Yeah, that's it. It's just the practicalities of what do we do, and what would be fast. Oh, and the third thing in regard to Mathieu's question on what to tell Emily is, I do think that the newsletter idea is great. I think that what we only need to work is on the here, kind of like just click here and then will get them into the experience already. So we are here to just design the experience. I'm not sure we need to ask anything else from Schumacher. Thank you. Lian.
Yeah, trying to summarize then the practicality. One is the communication to Emily. That's this text, this little paragraph that we formatted. So I'm not having my screen of my computer now in front of me, but can we finalize that together? That is one. Two, she asked about what can she communicate to Andrea from communication. I'm not really clear about what she was suggesting there. Is that that this paragraph will go to Andrea, or because they were mentioning another name as well who's about the newsletter? So I wonder if someone of you has clarity what she means with that. So maybe we can get clarity together about Andrea. Then whether we have anything that she needs to communicate, Emily, to Laura, or whether we can directly communicate to Laura. And then if that is a direct communication with Laura, what is the question we have for Laura? And then she says, she sort of invites us, she has 2 more weeks or 1.5 more week that she is in function. Of course, probably after that, we can also ask her for any kind of advice still, but it's now an open question to us, like, do we want to learn any of her skills that we might not know right now? Like, what skills does she have, having been in this function for 1 or 2 years? That she could easily pass on to us, at least, so that, or 4, that we have, that it already, it's a little bit distributed knowledge. So maybe we can have, like, set 1 more meeting before she leaves, and that we fire some questions at her, like, what main experience did you have? What main challenges did you have? What lessons did you have? So that we extrapolate that learnings, or ask her whether there's a document where she has kept some of these stories, so that we can build upon those lessons from her. So that's the Emily part of the to-dos, maybe. And then this element of the click here, what would that entail now if designing that? Because that's what we will have to deliver then as an addition to the paragraph. This as a summary of what I think what we need to be doing now.
I think these are good next steps. Definitely the paragraph was something to be communicated to the wider network, maybe not with the link as we'd said, right, for people to put their names in or something, just to say the meetings are happening worldwide. But even, I don't even know if this month it's ready, or maybe next month we'll have more information, because I'm also wary not to communicate too soon about what's happening. If we're saying, okay, this is happening and people want to know what, like, there's not really, I don't know, maybe next month we'll have more concrete things to bring. I don't know, but I do definitely want to take conversation for this page or somewhere to communicate about what's happened, like, something like this. So this is how I'm feeling. But yes, the paragraph is a good idea. And for Emily, I'm I think this is a good idea as well, to speak to her and see her, like, how we can learn from her, what her role has been, because it's not very clear to me in terms of, maybe like what we could learn in terms of technology, or how she's been doing it and things like that.
Thanks. What's coming to me is about not losing momentum with because this is, I feel, is a key point that we make when we send that the paragraph in the newsletter, and that's the first communication everybody is getting. And Luzette was saying, what invitation, if you were that person, what's the invitation you're feeling when you click on that? And I agree, the Google Docs isn't sufficient, but my thing is, how do we make that Google Docs into something that meets all these things we're talking about? So if you imagine, you click on that link, there's a Google Docs, and rather than these 3 questions that Emily put in, it's something like, here is a video from Pepic. You'll see 30-second videos. Do you want to put yours in? Here's a link. Put it in here. And that's it. Maybe, and then say, after, cause I think Pepic said something like, I don't want this to be permanent. So maybe we add something like, this is only going to be live for 3 months. So get it done now. Then it's all, Pepic's video is going to disappear. Your videos will be there, but Pepic's will be disappearing. And you will have your videos and they'll be working on something. So it's like, these are like evolutionary steps. We've got Pepic's video, which creates something. Pepic's video disappears, and we've got this other thing to work with. So we kind of distribute our work as well. But maybe at this stage, we just collect the videos and then we just say to, so that's all we need to do now, because then we have a set completed action. We can then go to M saying, this is what we want the Google Docs to look like. And this is the paragraph. And then as the videos get collated, at Laura will be collated them and say, look, how can we make this into a website as we move forward to the next step? But we don't need to know what it's going to look like right now. We just have that intention in our heads. And I agree with Emily as well. She did say something about she would be happy to share the skills around monkey newsletters, or something, I forgot what they're called, monkey surveys, or how to create a newsletter using monkey something. I forgot what they're called. So that's one skill she's happy to share. And yeah, I'd like to learn something about that newsletter thing, because I need to learn how to do that myself at some point. So maybe you could have a group around that or something. Yeah. Thank you.
I agree with this Emothier's idea of just creating something very simple where people, and that's a nice prototype to have, just a video, people sharing their name, and then we can just post that later on as soon as we can later on into, if we don't hear from Schumacher, I'll build a Tumblr page with people's pages, and it will be, I mean, people's links to videos. Like, what I want to ensure is that we do have constant communication and keep the momentum going, because we don't want to just attract attention and then drop it. So I'm happy to go with that, collect the info, and then we'll do website as soon as we can. And we can just modify the Google form very easily. We do need to check with Pepic whether we can use the video or not, because he has said not to use it. So that's a to-do. And then I'm also in agreement with Leanne that we could use, if we have time in this call, maybe we can just refine the paragraph to share with Emily, because we can always change the hyperlink of the here, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you all. No, then I think we're getting there. Yeah, seizing momentum and constant communication. What I learned seeing the starlings murmur just now is that there is a specific moment. It's like there is such a specificity to it. I saw it also with the jackdaws above Schumacher. I've been watching them several days after each other, with the sunsets changing by the minute. They were also accurate, being earlier every minute, but always like a specific amount of minutes before the sun set completely. They would do it, and they would find their home for the night. So there is this element of seizing momentum, but also creating like a recognizable rhythm, where in this constant communication, where we constantly practice the skillfulness that there is. So, okay, I think we can just have one more look at the paragraph. We finished the paragraph, and I like the click here, just linking it now to a Google Doc assemblage. And we can ask the whole big group, I think, would be good. So we ask in that whole group, maybe Pepic, like, can we use that little video as an example for people to upload theirs, to encourage the people to upload theirs. Although we could also just all individually upload ours, but then it's less attractive maybe to watch the first 15 as separate. Although how can we make it attractive? Because if they see 15 individuals, then they upload also as an individual. If they see us as a 5-minute, they see a core team that have gathered already, that they will join. I don't know what image attracts me most, but I think both have some arguments. And yes, okay, we all agree, so let's create a moment. I think 30 minutes with Emily would be fine, where we can ask her to learn a little bit of the, I think it's called chimp mail, the monkey thing. Chimp mail newsletter. Yeah. Kind of thing that she has learned, and we can always ask, is there then still something else you'd like to share with us from the past year? And that then it's distributed among the 4 of us, that skillfulness, and we can apply it within our group, and we can apply it in outside of this. But yeah, I think we can then, well, one thing is the question, does anything else needed to be added to this Google Doc? Just the videos, or do we have like a little bit like a vision of, I don't know, maybe that's why that video clip of Pepik is good, because there all the questions are in there. The 45,000, I think, is very good to mention, the 90 countries, and then immediately people have the image like, oh wow, you know, I didn't know until last week it were already 45,000. So that image is now, it's so clear. So yes, onto you, Mar. I think that might have been my final comment for this meeting. Then we can really get to the who does what for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have so much more to add. I love all the ideas. I'm just like, yeah, I don't have, I think I just feel like getting to work now, like deciding on something between us, whatever structure we want to take, if it's this way or that way. And you know, fair enough that we're a small team deciding, but I think it has to start somewhere, right? And even, I don't want to seem like, oh, we're not inclusive, but maybe we can take the lead in the beginning and then add more people. So I think we should decide on how to move forward now. Like you said, talking to Emily, 30 minutes, maybe the structure we want to have on the site, like you explained a bit, whichever form we want to take. And I don't really feel like adding anything else in this circle at the moment. I just feel like maybe now that we've taken almost a lot of time, maybe we can just make some decisions on how to move forward from here. What do you feel? I don't know. Yeah, that's what I want to add. I mean, I'm very inspired. I love all these ideas, but I feel like if we can just maybe amongst us, maybe decide like, okay, this is some, and it's not fixed, right? If we say, okay, this didn't work, you know, then let's try something else. I mean, we're just trying, at least we're trying something. That's what I feel. Sometimes I'm like, oh, we try so hard to find the right form or the right place or the right whatever it is. But I think it's just taking that one step and then learning. And if it's not the right way, then let's take another step. But whatever we do, I think we've learned from the past, saying that we don't want to do something that doesn't engage people, like, and respond in the correct way, or, you know. So yeah, I think Emily's only on for another 2 weeks, she said, or 1.5, right? So maybe we could send her something to ask to do, to kind of update us on what she's been doing and to teach us a little bit. What do you feel? I feel the next step, that's very important, and then to move forward from there. Yeah.
Just wanted to, from the meta level of what Leanne was just saying around getting the form right, and so on, because I think we've just created a form of conversation just among ourselves, which I think was very effective, and it emerged out of the need of the moment. So we've created this circle that went round, and then the energy, I can feel the shifted energy as well, like, oh, the energy is shifting, we need to move into different gears. So I don't have anything more to add in a way to what this circle was, but what I've sensed is there is that form can emerge from just coming into with the right intention, that we've created quite an effective form where we had the check-in, this circle that went around, we gathered ideas and harvested, and now we need to move to convergence and find, and it came naturally. It wasn't like somebody saying you've got to do X, Y, and Z. We just felt it, and I feel that too. That if we can now maybe move into, I don't know if people want to, but we need to. I think in circles, what they do in the wisdom set is they go pass, 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 and when everyone's passed, then we know we've moved definitely to the next space. And so all I want to add is I've put 2 links into the 2 documents there, and if we can look at those as the next stage and just see if we can agree something that we can then send to Emily, that would be really good, that we come to a clear decision. So, and that's, me.
Thank you. I agree. Let's just go into the documents. I think that we can only edit the newsletter. I don't think that we can edit the survey, but we can create a new one. So I'm ready to work on
it. Do you have some suggestions that could be then in the new one? You had already given them, I think, by email. I can't hear you.
Yeah, muted.
For the newsletter, I think it's like all the suggestions are there. It's for us to just choose which paragraph to use.
No, the form, for the form.
For the form. I really like what Monsieur agreed. She suggested just like, the video, Pepic's video, then we ask the names, and then maybe like a nice murmuration phrase or something like that. It doesn't have to be that much. And then we need to prepare for the second phase, which would be, what do we do with the videos? But that we can have a conversation with Laura to explore with a deadline. And if that doesn't happen, then we'll just put it in a website that we can create ourselves.
Yeah. What is then something I could do, for instance? Well, I could, for instance, ask Pepic whether we could use that video, because I've been making together with him, editing that video. So suggesting things. So I could ask, could we use that for 3 months to encourage people to upload their own, if you want. I could ask Emily when we can have this, or maybe Mar was very good with this doodle. I think that was very good to make the doodle again. If Mar could do that, maybe there's a question.
I can do that. Yeah, if we decide maybe now and some times that are good for us or some days, then I can just do it.
Yeah, that will be good. Well, I'm just thinking out loud. What then? I think that the second paragraph, that's much better. That we worked on, that's much more specific, and so I think finalizing that second paragraph. Yeah, that's it. I think for me now. So, Mar, and for the rest, I enjoyed also the beauty of this, and besides the small outcome perhaps of this meeting, I think the practice of us doing this, I feel really strong how we learned this and the skills, and that we can apply to so many more things than just this little newsletter, and this little link is so huge. So super beautiful. Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't have anything else to add. Pass? Is that the right thing, or I just will work for it?
Thanks. I'm just wondering whether we can just look at that to Google document, the first link on the chat page, just to make sure that we are like everyone's just happy with that, because there was, where is it? There's 3. Where's it gone? There are 3 titles: help make the Schumacher Network happen, help bring the Schumacher Network to life, join us in bringing the Schumacher Network to life. Which of those titles do you think is the one that we should go with? I think help bring the Schumacher network to life. I think. So it's not join us, because then it separates us and them, and help make the Schumacher.
I felt something like us and them not to separate. That was something important that I felt.
Yeah.
You know, that we're all together. Yeah.
So should I take out the third one for now? So join us. So that's.
Well, I have a comment there. It's just that I feel I understand the join us. What if it is just join in? Maybe English is not my first language, so sometimes I don't notice these details. But there is a difference between joining and being part of than helping.
Join in bringing.
Like that.
Like join in bringing. It doesn't have to have the us.
Yeah.
Join and bring the Schumacher network to life.
For the English speakers. Join in bringing.
Bringing sounds a bit join in. Okay, let's leave it at that. Join in bringing. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, okay, good enough for now. Safe enough to try.
Yeah, good enough for the first step.
So join in bringing, by reading this, you're already part of the Schumacher network. This network comprises 45 around. Let's leave it. Maybe there's more. This network comprises 45,000 people across 90 countries worldwide, which have passed through Schumacher College as students, teachers, facilitators, volunteers, and staff. Are there any more groups that might be stakeholders? Any students, teachers, facilitators, volunteers, staff, apprentices, garden apprentices?
And maybe I would put comma staff and other, and many others or something.
Staff and
because
maybe funders.
Yeah,
we've not done a course, but our funders.
Anyone like
many other interested, many other.
Just many others.
Many
others.
Yeah.
And I would put something about not 45,000 people, but around or up till now, or I don't know, something, because that changes every day, right? So like people doing short questions.
This network
growing of 45,000.
Growing is growing.
A growing of 45,000 network. Something.
A growing network of around. Students, teachers, facilities, gardens. Someone put something about garden people, because it doesn't. Students might not.
Growers.
I love that.
Growers.
Yeah.
Conversations have happened and continue to be happening with and about the Schumacher network. A group of Schumies. I like the difference in Schumacher College and Schumies, because then it's like, so Schumies are keen to get things moving with the Schumacher network as an alumni-led network, meeting online and live around the world. If you would like to join, not help, it's like
bring
to bring the Schumacher network.
Just bring.
To bring.
You'd like to bring the
Schumacher network to life.
Further to life.
Or something like help the Schumacher, or bring the Schumacher network to flourish, something like
to flourishing life.
Yeah.
To thrive.
Thriving life. Yeah. Or something that's a bit more alive.
To thrive.
Thriving life.
Thriving life. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, they will like that. Like, oh yeah, real Shumi language.
And help sustain this. Please share your details here and.
Why don't you say click here?
Please,
because we don't know. They're gonna see the video and other things. It's not only asking them. Just please click here.
Yeah. please click here, and we can be in touch with each other.
Yes.
Yay. Okay. I think. Yes. We have a.
Yeah. Good.
Great.
I think with the with the contact list, we could almost have it underneath here, the suggestion that could be in that form. So name, email, because we need to be in touch with them. And I think it would be nice if they say, if they can name it country or continent, because if at some point we want to stir people, activate people in their places around the world, plus also to see like where are the gaps, do we have all the continents and things like that, as a touch base in the countries. Because also if we, for instance, want to make the call for all the parallel pilgrimages that Satish was talking about, then for instance then we can effectively start to communicate with the few people that already have connected with us.
So how do we, can we see the form just to see what was in the last, there was a second link on there, just to see
well, she said just, I think it was just name, email, and then it was skills to share.
Yeah, it was name, email. Could you support the network with any skills? And if you said other, what did you have in mind?
And it says in the first line, if you're interested in joining the alumni-led Schumacher, which is, we need to use that because it's now we're just talking about bringing yourself to it.
Yeah.
So what would be the first line that's inviting that we want to say, rather than if you're interested in joining? How can we rephrase that to an inviting, a thriving lifeline?
Well, if we now see how we made it into the sentence, we say bring the Schumacher network to thriving life.
Yeah, I think something like this to link it, you know?
So to bring
to the last sentence.
Network to thriving life and help sustain this. First, watch this video. Are we going to put a Pepik's video there, link, or no? Are we?
Yeah, I think either the Pepik video or our individual ones.
That will require more work to do individual ones, and then the. Yeah.
Well, it's just uploading the ones we already have.
Oh, you've already got them. Does Pepik have individual ones? I suppose, yeah, he could just, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we do that, yeah. Please fill in your details with a selfie video, like the one like these, please.
Yeah, please share your details.
Please share your details. We would love to see you come alive with a video selfie.
True selfie. True selfie.
A true selfie.
Be your true selfie.
Be your
true selfie.
I like that. Yeah.
Your true selfie. Video. Like these.
Yeah, video or audio. Because if people don't want to share video, then audio is also good.
Audio.
Ooh, could we ask also writing, or just a phrase to describe it? Because sometimes people don't want to even.
I guess because that was one concern that was raised in our group. Like not everybody wants to.
Yeah.
Or we can like suggest a medium of communication that you know, like something like find a way to introduce yourself through a video, text, or audio, or picture, you know, like to make it like more all-inclusive, I guess.
In max 30 seconds.
Yeah, max 30
yeah,
seconds.
but a brief one. Yeah.
Max 30 seconds or a 3-line paragraph, like, you know, something like this, like a bit, making it a bit funny, but kind of including everyone.
How would we say that? Please share it, and we would love to see you come alive in a in any way you want in 30 seconds. Anyway,
No,
you
come
want.
alive. No, come alive through video and then brackets 30 seconds max, and then audio, like I don't know, like giving different media or through different mediums of communicate. I don't know.
Through Be Your True Selfie communication. Which can be video or audio, like.
Why don't we, because it would probably make it easier if we say we would love to hear you or to learn from you or to hear your story through, and then we put the different mediums.
A story.
And just through a Be Your True Selfie communication or any other medium that you prefer, that you like.
Yeah. Then they can choose.
Mm-hmm.
And we give examples so they know a bit what they might look like from the one.
We can put in parentheses, we can put audio, drawings, etc.
Yeah.
People can feel that in them for themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
that takes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Max to see.
To communicate. To communicate better.
Yeah.
Or to receive.
So, to receive. Here are some we have done. Here is the evolving page, and then we can. Oh, here is the evolving. Here are some examples to help.
Yeah, or here are some early birds.
I love it.
Yeah, since it's about murmuration, right?
Nice.
And then where do we capture their names and their country, and so that
name.
We do want to capture that too. Yeah.
Well, country.
Email.
Or country or place.
Yeah, continent. Yeah.
Email.
Yeah.
Do you want the year? No. Do you want the year when they came to Schumacher? When they feel? Do you want to get a sense of how?
It might be nice, like course and year or something.
Because they might not have done a course, or they might have been.
No, exactly.
Or maybe your connection to Schumacher.
Yeah. What's your connection?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, will we do something with that? I wonder what the functionality will be.
It's to understand who's coming, maybe, like when you do the numbers.
Okay.
Like, if it's not, obviously it's not highlight. It's like begin. I don't know. Just understanding who's.
Maybe we could put Shumi connection to make it a bit more.
Shumi connection.
No, like a bit more.
Yes, I love it.
And also, I put on top there after the medium, I put max to receive or any other medium in brackets.
Yes, I love it, Mar. Thank you.
Make it a bit more inclusive, just in case, like.
Yeah.
Like, then no one can really say anything. Hopefully, or we're trying.
Shall we then change the title of the paragraph also to bringing the Schumacher Network to Thriving Life, so that we're continuous? The title, okay.
Join. Yeah. That's right. Join in.
Yep.
Bringing. Yeah.
Bring.
That's right.
Because we sort of assume they joined that it's, but it's they're bringing.
Yeah, they're making like they're already in it. But
they're in it, whether they want it or not. Exactly. It's just a degree of whether they bring it to further life. Okay, I think we have it.
Yeah. We need. Name. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Good. I think we're.
Nice.
Really nice.
Yes. Thank you.
I was wondering if there was any other information from them. Or do you think that's enough?
I would love the rivers. I would love collecting all the rivers, but that's very, of course, because it would. I think the 45,000 people. I think we will, or watershed, but that will probably people won't know. But I think we would have up to maybe also 20,000 rivers that we embody together. So that's like so amazing that we could probably conclude like actually we all together we reach all watersheds, something like that. I don't know, but it would be really powerful if that's the case.
I was thinking just maybe, I mean, country is easy, but the place, I was just thinking it'd be nice to get a sense of what is that place that where you are that feels alive to you, whether it's the river, whether it's a rock, whether it's like this. For me, it's like the brook, just something that makes you.
Yeah, or your community or your local currency.
Yeah,
maybe if it's beyond the natural.
Because we just want people just to.
Yeah,
and maybe they'll start thinking.
To come.
Yes, we just leave it like that. Because then it's easy. People can fill it really quickly. Just like name, country, email. Not a lot of thinking.
I wonder if a question about the network itself could be useful. But I don't know if it would be too much, but maybe something related to, you know, what would you like, what would you like to see in a network? Or
the intention.
Experience, kind of like an intention, yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's already too much.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, and it's
maybe it's too much because it's the beginning. We can ask that question later and get groups around it. And
we could add one sentence after any other medium is saying, as what you can say what you would love to see happen. And so when people respond, you know, you were saying about having people responding to them, so people can say, oh yeah, I would like that too. So when they watch it, we begin seeing it evolves rather than through a question, it comes out through the videos. Or is that too much as well?
I think for how it's now, I think it's good like this. As long as we can stay in touch, then we can stay in this communication.
Yes.
Then I think to now have it very simple, elegant. You can really tell that we thought through every word and gave the Schumacher experience through our words. But now we don't need to overwhelm them because now we have access to starting to be engaged with each other. I think.
I agree.
Okay.
I was just thinking about the skills that she put, right? Because I'm guessing that her idea behind it was to, you know, to know if there's anyone who we could call on to join any of the groups or something, you know. But do we want to put like something, I don't know, like ways you could contribute to the network, or I don't know, like something a bit more gentler, potential ways to contribute, because, you know, if there's someone who has like skills and like, I don't know, like organize, like group management, or someone who's really good at network web designing and wants to contribute in some way and could help Laura, or I don't know, some skill that maybe we might not have in our group.
How about how would you like to support? How would you like to support the network or something? How could you see?
I start to write, as it's alumni led, does this resonate with you, your talents, experiences, networks, something like this?
What's your intention?
And maybe you can, after that, you say, tell us how.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they can just elaborate on whatever, and we can follow up with them.
Yeah, maybe we can put a limit on how many characters they can use.
Yeah, we use in the form, you can have the short paragraph.
Yeah, not just so we don't get like a one-page thing, you know, of like,
people might.
Because I don't want people to start giving like advice on like, oh, it should look like this or that, or, you know, then like we have a bit of a...
Yeah, then you have the response issue again. Yeah.
Because it's very hard to collate the information when people write it, which is why I think Emily wanted a tick box thing, because then you don't need to put a lot of effort into have a tick box. And then I just thought, or maybe And then the suggestions are the things that the tick box, and they can put other as well. So we're not fixing it to one of those things. It's not transactional. It's a thing like, how do we make it non-transactional?
I really like Leanne's question. I think that it doesn't make it transactional.
Yeah.
Because now, at the moment, we don't really need to know it right now, really. But we do want, if there's like a major developer in our network and that says, yeah, well, that's my thing. But we really want to seize it as a calling, right? Rather than that we are now in need of anything, or are we in need?
No, but I feel like if there's someone who turns up who's very good at organizational management, like something new ways of, I don't know, or like real, it would be interesting to know that,
We could just put any other comments. I'll just say.
No, because I like the way you put it also in alumni. If the talent that you would like to give or like, that, because I don't want to hear someone's talents and then they're not willing to help. Or I don't know, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it's.
Maybe something like, I don't know, it's alumni that does it resonate with you? Your talent. Would you like to contribute? I don't know, like a way of saying, would you like to contribute to this growing platform in any way, or this growing, I don't know, thriving?
Well, what we've said that before is like, please click here and we can be in touch with each other. So it's just to be in touch here. And then when we get all these, so then we can ask them these questions, because then we've got a group of people we can ask who really want to be in some kind of way. And then we ask them rather than, because then we know people want to be involved. They've come through the gateway, and then we ask them, how do you want to help? Have you got?
Maybe once they've signed up, then we can send a separate message. Then we don't need to deal with all the data now, right?
Yeah. I think that was.
Hey, we're looking for this, or would you like to contribute in any way? Like, at least it keeps them engaged. I think it's a second engagement step, right? That we can kind of.
But I think if we capture here in this very first one, just this strongly, I would just, as it's alumni led, does this strongly resonate with you? Well, then they will only reply if that's really the case.
I think people
I don't think many people.
Yeah. I think
I'm not attached to include it or not the sentence, but it will include that be active inclusiveness element that Emily has started. Is one little sentence, and maybe people respond and maybe people don't respond.
And maybe we just say optional. Maybe we just say before the word we ask in parentheses, we say optional.
Yeah. I've been involved with consultations, and when you ask people to respond and then they respond, and then because we get overwhelmed in information, then they go, that's when they get disconnected. Then they think, oh, they're not
frustrated. Yeah.
So when we open it to it can be more frustrating than when because then
that's why it's strongly written.
So people have different ideas of what's strong. If you get hundreds of responses, we can't respond to. I think it just feels for me better to have a strong and not open ourselves to saying, oh, it's another network which doesn't do anything.
No, I think you're right. I think we should take that out and leave it as a second communication. Let's say people who put their names in, then we can say, hey, does anyone want to get involved? Then we can kind of do a second thing. I feel like we're becoming the communications team here.
Yes.
We're making a communication.
I agree. Leave it out, because I agree. Leave it out, because if people really strongly feel, because we've written alumni led, and if that already resonates, and people will reach out to us. Yeah. We will have to put our email address. That is something like, so that we not only can be in touch with them, but they can also be in touch with us, even though we can make it like a miniature font. So please don't, because we don't have a responder manager.
No, or we could have a form together.
I think we do have.
Don't they have something like this? Like where you have to put your email and like, because I hate those forms. I never fill them in. When there's an email, it's easier to.
Yeah.
them, but when there's a form, you're just like, oh.
Oh, that's why those forms are there. That's why those forms are there. Stop us. It's funny, we wanted to thrive, but we don't want them to be in communication with us.
No, we wanted to thrive, but it's so this is a key. Alex told me the metaphor of the seed. He said a seed has two sides to it. The seed is an autistic self. It has the autistic that it has to have a hard shell in the soil and it can't communicate with the outside world. Then it changes when the water and the sunlight touches it. Then it becomes an ecological self. That's when it comes out with its networks to understand the outside world. But at the moment, it's like we need to almost be in the autistic side. we want to be an autistic network.
We're recording this. This is not getting out of this hard shell. I love it.
No, I said
okay.
Autistic to get coherence. So the autism is there to get coherence, and then you move out to I forgot what the other word was, but yeah, then you become ecological. But we are finding coherence in ourselves. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But let's pause now. I think we're because I think we're getting really weaving to the end now.
Yeah.
I feel but I do think that somewhere needs to be clear what our email address is.
Yes.
Can we just use the one that Emily created?
Yes, the Schumacher Network at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we put it there?
Another Shumi just gave me a kombucha.
Yeah.
I'm copy pasting it right now. I just Schumacher Network. Did I spell it correctly? Schumacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schumacher Network. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we do this.
And Mar, you will make a doodle. Oh yeah, you need to know our availability then.
Maybe it's easier if I know everyone's availability, or more or less, otherwise.
More or less, yeah.
What was this for?
Emily?
For this half an hour with Emily.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we don't need to all three of or four of us be there per se, because we could record it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What do you want to call it? Update with Emily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, learning maybe. Yeah, update, learning, yeah.
She said she can do Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
So it would be the next Tuesday on the 19th.
19th.
Only Tuesdays or?
She said Tuesdays were best.
Yeah.
But then this Tuesday not, so maybe a bit earlier than this time.
Maybe she stopped working at that.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we did.
Yeah.
At 4?
4?
4 UK?
Yeah.
Well, the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you want to add maybe another option or two just in case?
Half an hour later.
I'm thinking like maybe another day or like.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe 20 minutes. We'll give you.
Oh, bummer. No complaint.
That's funny. I mean, can we try also Thursday?
This Thursday?
She said Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? Or just Tuesdays?
She said just Tuesday, but it's fine. Probably other days as well. I mean, this Tuesday or this Thursday, I cannot do, but next week, well, yes.
Okay, so next week, Thursday, again, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
or maybe an option early in the morning, but no, that doesn't work with the US. So again, this time I think.
Yeah, I think it's because of Lizette. No, because it's too early. It's
Yeah,
5 hours.
I can do almost like I can wake up early, so I can always do after 1 p.m. I mean, if it is extreme, I can try to do 12. But that's...
So should we put...
No.
Should we put 1 p.m., you think?
Lunchtime?
So 1 p.m. your time would be 9 a.m. my time, which I can do.
So should we
No,
put...
it would be 8 a.m. my time. I can do 1 p.m. 2
Or
1
2 p.m.
anytime.
Okay. So do you think I should put Tuesday and Thursday, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., yeah?
Yeah.
So both options on both days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you're sending that out, Emily? Mar?
Yeah.
And who will set? Who's sending out the communication of? Just to communicate to the whole group that this is what we've decided.
Did someone write notes?
Some notes.
I made a drawing. Sort of.
Just a very short one. I mean, I can just do a quick one, just saying this is what we agreed.
Okay.
We finalized the document, and this is the form.
Maybe you can say we finalized the document. This is what we have. If anyone feels like making any adjustments, please do it in the document by tomorrow or like by a certain date, you know, so that then they've had the chance to add to it, you know?
Yeah.
Can we ask Emily to help us do the Google form, or should we do the Google form before we sending all of that to the group so they can see everything how it looks?
But the Google, I can't do Google form, but I think Emily can amend that quite easily. I'll just say in the email, the second half of the page is what we would like the Google form.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to send an email to Emily with us four, yeah? Well.
Okay.
Lizette, yours is Lizette James. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Just so I have the right.
We could make it a little bit of a joke with contact us, maybe like contact ourselves, so that they are aware of that's also communicating to themselves.
That's a good
a little bit because they empathize, maybe like it's also community, not only led but also community response network, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit funny. No one has written that before, but yeah, because it makes you a bit more conscious about it, like, right? Yeah. Okay, I feel really good about it. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, thank you.
I never knew that being in this working group, I would get much out of it like this. So much joy and other insights about seeds and etc.
It's been really nice. Yeah. I'm happy we did the call.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you, Mar, for suggesting that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for suggesting, and thanks, Lizette, for adding. Oh, that maybe would you very quick.
Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
What do people just
and
a
recording.
Very quick round? I know we said just a quick check-in as to how the whole process. Just maybe that we could finish with that. Just around, just to say what the process felt from the beginning.
Sorry, I just wanted to add something. Will you add the recording to the Google Drive for our group, Mathieu? The Zoom recording, so that others can look at it. As part of your update email, you could just say we recorded it to Zoom, and if anyone feels like watching it, it's in the Google Drive.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that.
I think that's good. Sorry, just to be inclusive with everyone.
Yeah. In fact, I think it'd be nice just no, maybe that's maybe we could do a check-in later about the whole when we finished it, the process. We haven't finished it yet, so be nice. Maybe leave with just 2 words, and I feel alive and vibrant.
I feel energized and enthusiastic.
I feel excited and understood.
Fun and loved.
Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.
Enjoy the rest of your threads.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, lovelies.
Bye.
Ciao.